So today we're going to be reviewing measures of center. Today, the best measure of center. Which measure best describes the scores of the team? As a reminder, here are the scores: 70, 72, 74, 76, 80, 114. If you have an outlier, a number that is way smaller or larger than the rest of the data set, then it will mess up your average or mean. Our mean means the average, and median is the middle. So an outlier can mess up our mean or the average. Here's our key point. If you have outliers, the median is a more accurate or appropriate, and my pencil is very light. Let me switch to a pen for this. Appropriate measure of center, because outliers don't change the middle number very much. Because the data set above does have an outlier, then the median is a more appropriate measure of center for this data set. Now looking back up here, we can see we have 70, 72, 74, 76, 80. All of these are within about 10 units of each other. So the scores are about 10 points apart. This one, however, 114, is an outlier. It is much larger than the rest of the data set. This is more than 30 points larger than this score. So because of that, the median is going to give us a better measure of center. Now looking down below, we have 4 questions that ask us to tell why either mean or median would be a more appropriate measure of center. Question 1, we have 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 1, 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to organize these in order like they were up above, so that I can clearly and easily tell if there is an outlier. So I have 1, cross that off. I have 2 and 2, 3, I have 3 threes, 4, and 2 5s. So looking at these, all of these are pretty close together. So in this case, the median, or rather the mean, the average, where we add all of them together, then divide them by the number of data points, will give me an appropriate measure of center, or an accurate measure of center. Now remember, appropriate means that it's good or okay, it's suitable for what we're trying to do. Now, question 2. We have several numbers. I'm going to go ahead and start by looking for the smallest one, which looks like 95 is the smallest one. So 95, 99, 100, 120, let's see, 190 looks like the next one, 190, 199, we have 200, 2 times, 200, and we'll keep on going on the next line down, 212, 244, 250, 250, 250, and 300, and come again down to the next row, and 850. So a lot of these are close together. There's a pretty large spread from 95 to 300, but there are values at all points through that range. However, we have 850 here. 850 is over 500 units away from our highest second data point. So in this case, the median would be the most appropriate here, and I should have written that down here. So I'm going to say the median, or rather here, the mean is appropriate because we do not have an outlier. What I I'm running out of space. I'm going to go down to the next line. And here, the median is most appropriate because we do have an outlier. Now these final two I'm not going to do for you. These are two that you can attempt at home. Take out a scratched piece of paper and practice these two. Find whether there is an outlier. If there's an outlier, the median is a more accurate, a better, and a more appropriate measure of center.